slept, kept taking sleepers. But now I keep myself pecked deeper still. At night, I write by candlelight, I find insight, fundamental movement. So when it's black, this insomniac, take an original tack, keep the beast in my nature under ceaseless attack. I get no sleep, I can't get no sleep.
Are we all? How's the volume to music ratio before I start the lecture? We're back, at least for now. Oh yes. And this is an interesting way of playing the Greco's variation, the Greco attack as black. You get to keep the bishop pair. You get everything you want. Providing white plays anything but perfect, it's going to be tricky to do anything else. That is hard to find. I think pushing anything in front of this king results in instant death. And things are just going to get worse. That looks like it doesn't do a lot. You can come back. Through the point. Take. I was going to say, you can pretty much sack, can't you? And life's amazing. So yeah, the lines that come from finding the best. The computer wanted it to be. The computer wanted it to be this equivalent figure. But if you go here, you can actually just sack. There, by the way, and it encourages this to divert the knight. C4 is strong. Well, if C4 is strong, what's going on? Yeah, but realistically you just come back when you take. So if you get to the C4 sort of stage, you've got this as well. Give them a choice, ask a question, but realistically you are just going to come back, aren't you? The majority of players will. Come back. Here, just allow yourself to get out as well. that covers that square. And if you want to waste more time there, I think that's the trap. You need to do something about this immediate problem. But where's the advanced plan? Yeah, let's say we try this. Instant death with tactics. What's going on? Take. Just split. But yeah, see this? We've got the balls, the bravery, sack in the face. Once you take this, I come back and help. We're gonna land there eventually, I'm sure. I'm not sure why you can't go there straight away and you encourage that. So you can just come back. Right, so there's your tactic. It's not about this pawn, it's about tempi on that. Ah, here, yes. That'll be a draw if you want it. So you have to step into the fire. I thought the idea was to win this at some point first. And if that hasn't been taken, you get this. Or if you step to the wrong square, is it? Yeah. So they have to be incredibly careful. But, as you know, we like playing this sort of stuff, so we'll go back to the infamous moment when they have to make that decision. That's needed. Bishop f4 is also up there. If you let this badger work, perfectly fine when you're playing. Where's your badger? Let's find the badger. Badger. Find the badger. Find the best move. Anyway. Here's supposed to be good for black. Coming back to here. But you'll end up in very similar positions. Say you try anything else. Take, well, not a great example, we'll try that. Consolidate. Bishop there. Pawns don't really matter. Equal position. Now, the whole reason I'm telling you this in this sort of warm-up game is everybody studies the main line for everything, don't they? So everybody wants to castle here. So you play this, you play this, you do this. Taking with the knight there is a mistake, I'm sure it is. Oh, they're not castled yet. So after they castle, yeah, taking here is supposed to be the mistake, isn't it? Yeah, you need to take with the bishop. So you don't get to keep your bishop pair. And everybody seems to do much better from this sort of position than if you play the one I've just shown you. So getting this early d5 in is lovely. Masters. Greco's attack. Castle. A castle. Have we got it here? Yes, but the knight can take. These d5 variations are so important in everything you do, especially the hind counter gambit to the Evans. Played one of these tonight and got flagged by my mate. But yeah, this is, I've got so much theory being developed in this, it's unreal. I'll show you a quick one. If people think that they're clever, you take here and throw, right. Black to move. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. What are you playing at the moment if you're not playing e5? What are you playing? Also, look at this. Also, look at that. And tell me I am not the Jerome Gambit master. Tell me I'm not. Someone dare tell me I'm not. I invented it in reverse. I've got rated master wins with the Jerome Gambit. Tell me I'm not. Someone tell me I am not the Jerome master. I'll be getting onto that when we've got a few people in. Nice little lecture. You're playing c5 against d4, that's because you're a professional. That's a professional's opening. Do you want a game? Eileen Lee, do you want a game with a bit of e4, c5? I'd like to see what you do against a particular d4 in the face. What would you play here? What would you play here? Black to move. What would you play here? What's the move here? Bring that up in a man. Bring that up in a man. Oh, shut up, Greg. There we go. Also this. You know I've applied to this. You know I've applied for this. Of course I'll review your game later. What would you play here? Right. Show you both this in quick time, real time. Review your game in a minute. Whoa! Tactics! Yeah. Calm it down. I look like I've got a little question mark above my head with this, don't I? So here the position is just terrible. Terrible. Do you like my chess socks? They're good, aren't they? Right. Let's have a look at your game. Thank you, I like my socks just got on for me. Oh, look at this game. Very nice, 2 months ago. We like the old, we don't care how strong you are. Centered. F3. Okay. Okay. Yes. Good. Amazing. Winning. +2.
Hi,
Plus
I'm
one.
Anna.
And I'm Emily, and we're the hosts of Terribly Famous, the show that takes you inside the lives of our biggest celebrities.
And in
Lovely.
this season,
Oh,
we're talking about a fashion
lovely.
icon,
Oh, I just threw this on.
a muse,
Don't
a mother,
care.
a supermodel who
Gimme.
defined the 90s.
It's not me, is it?
It is, of course, Kate Moss.
Smashing.
Think parties, rockstar bad boys, more parties.
It's a wild ride.
Scary.
Follow
but
Terribly
not
Famous
bad.
wherever you listen to podcasts, or listen early and ad-free
Go.
on Wondery Plus on Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.
Okay. What do we go for? Fine. Top move. Does this lose? Draw. Bad. Then move. Take. Here. Threaten the guy. You take winning. What do you play? Yes. As expected. Very good. Now you double. Ooh, we need to play. Streamers Battle Arena. You need to battle me then, don't you? Where do you lose the advantage? Dropping pawns.
It is the distance that makes life a little hard. Two minds that once were close, now so
Interesting.
many miles apart.
Hit.
I will not falter though.
That's a hard sequence to think of.
Safely back where you belong.
Yeah, computers are all about this. What's the point?
Wait till the end of time. Open your mind.
Yeah, scary.
It's plain to see
Cool.
you're not alone.
Hey, Claude, how you doing, mate?
Time for you. Open your mind. Surely there's time to be with me.
Go pawns. Ours comes with check.
Wait till the end of time. Open your mind.
Sweet.
It's plain to see.
No, don't worry about it. Mine's worse. Mine is worse. Mine will be worse. Claude, have you got any contributions from the last time we spoke? You called me at KFC that time. I just ordered 20 chicken wings when Claude decided to start talking to me about his chess. That was a nice game. Right, let's have a bit of fun here. We're black. Okay. Yeah. equal. Better for white. Better for white. Here you go. And that's how you get your G file open. Having same game where you transpose to a Scotch to a Nimzovich, just figured out you can do that. Ooh, that sounds interesting. That does sound interesting. Share that one, brother. We'll have a look at that one. I might even start a little mini arena, actually. From this position. I take it this is the position, right? White to move. Interesting. Yeah, I might have to do that soon. Takes D4. Take everything. Hello. Hello. We have so much things. Where's that queen going? Hello. Hi. Surely, yeah. Right. Good. Ah, panic! Now what? What are we playing here? B takes G2. Queen takes. King here. Please throw this in. Do you not leave this a problem? The computer will say something silly here, won't it? No, Queen takes G5 is best. Has to be that way, doesn't it? I was wondering if you can get away with that. The idea was something like this, but they can just take the rook. So if they move to the wrong square, there's no wrong square to move, is there? Because it's here or here. Here they just take this way. So what I really wanted was something silly. Does this lose, actually? Yeah. Yeah, you can't get away with it. I just wanted to see some sort of fancy discovered checkmate. I mean, this is still huge. Ah, don't take the queen. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this game, this particular variation is insane. But that's what I was trying to figure out. Right there. If you take this, it's not as good, right? Yeah, still great. It's hard to think this is so winning, because that looks scary. But it is. You throw this in? Yeah. Hit. Cool. Hey, that's a big one. Need to go back on that. Key memory markers. Threaten d2 if you castle. Threaten mate force in g3. Don't take rook. Move queen 1 over to protect the rook. Castle long. Try to put an attack on pawn. And boom, rook sack. Okay. We might have to start that arena and have a look. I played a rapid game tonight that you just reminded me of. Rapid. For the games. Right. Here. The only time White had a chance was to just randomly play this here, and that works for White-ish. Hard to see why. Right here. Horrible computer stuff. Human stuff. That was coming in, trying to get back here. No chance, not enough time. Now this is loose. And yes, I know, Mr. Mate, the line of the man was too funny. This game's very similar. So I have an amazing tactic here. That's charming. But I miss it. I saw something similar, but that's your struggle. Hey Smurfette. Hold on, I need to get a... Right, hold on. I'll get a proper chat up on this, because you're all genuinely talking a lot.
If you're fond of sand dunes and salty air,
Salty hate.
little villages here and there.
Right. Let's go back to Vegata's comment. Bro, you think it's important for me to work on visualization now? It's too soon. Just starting in classical until visualization is a key part of calculation. We're struggling so hard with this shit. Can you expand on that? Listen to chess lectures, follow along on the board. Right, so the problem's like 4 starting moves. You visualise the pieces, but also visualise starting positions now at 9 pawns and 3 knights each players. Are you trying to play blindfolded? Is that what you're asking? Or are you just trying to visualise in your calculated lines? If you're trying to visualise the whole board, that'll be just a memory thing, won't it? I actually find lying down helps a lot. So I like to lie down completely and to keep my eyes shut. Visualise the future position to calculate. Right. So when people look up at the ceiling, I think what we're doing, I mean, some people claim you see a chessboard or whatever, but you're just zoning out, you're blinding yourself effectively, so you're only focused on one thing. And when you visualise, the hardest thing to grasp when you're visualising a line is the space that you've created. Because it's easy to remember, like in this line, what I visualise by the time I get to here, right, is this. cheeky trick of a crash. Right. So this cheeky trick, it was hard to visualise all of the variations, and it's hard to visualise what white does next because there's plenty of variables. If there aren't many variables and a lot of the pawns are fixed, you only really have to calculate the piece moves, don't you? Because in this sort of position it becomes more threat and a loud. We're all in now anyway, or the majority. So when you're visualizing a trick, question 1, have they got any available checks? Try not to miss any of those. Question 2, can they defend an immediate threat? Are you threatening a piece or are you threatening the king? If you're threatening the king, they have to deal with it. If they just start seeing ghosts and they're not actually calculating, what he wants in this position is to simplify. He's so scared that in this position, the sneaky trick was the timing of this as well. I'm on 5:49 and I've just visualised a cheeky trick. I spend 2 seconds doing it, I make it look semi-blunderish. He counts quickly, 1, 2, ha ha ha, I get to win the queen. Spent 1 second doing that, and I'd visualised that trick. So, if you can visualise something with venom, it's easy for me to calculate. The hardest move for me to find in any sequence is a very subtle queen move that does nothing seemingly. They're the hardest moves for me to find. But visualization as a whole, I can think about 20 to 30 moves deep, and I can do it fairly accurately a lot of the time. It's just when I need to find the critical move in a sequence, I can struggle. And again, that comes down to the chart. So if you're in the orange or the yellow in this chart, visualization is extremely easy. If you're in the red, black or white, it is not. So try and pay attention to how you're feeling. If your heart rate's high, your calculation skills will be limited. You'll just see a lot of attacks on this piece typically. Or you'll try and simplify games and you'll hangmate in 1 trying to take queens off the board. And it's nothing to do with your skill as a chess player or visualization. Just try and keep yourself in a smooth, calm, easy brain pattern and work on 3 move mates, 4 move mates, 5 move mates, 6 move mates, 7 move checkmates. Once you can find checkmate sequences 7 or 8 moves deep, you'll then be able to visualize middle game tactics 7 or 8 moves deep. If you can memorize a phone number, you can memorize your openings as well. So memory is completely different from visualization. If you can remember 30 moves deep, that is not visualizing 30 moves deep. There's a big difference. So bear that in mind. That's something else I'd be thinking about as well. Right, music slightly louder. I'll start a mini arena once I have gone through the Jerome lecture. Yes, the problem is not visualising the move, but visualising what kind of spaces that move opened. Yeah, so mid-sequence as well, I've hallucinated. If on like move 2 or 3, a pawn takes move has come in, your brain will fix the pawns where they are, and in your calculations you have to remember, if that pawn's gone, now there's actually a new line of attack that's opened up. And these are the gaps that you'll miss in your visualization skills typically. If a pawn takes or gets pushed in a variation, the space that's created behind it is incredibly hard to visualize over the entire board if another piece can come swinging in. So knowing this as well, good example in this blitz game. Good example in this blitz game against this FM. And you can look this guy up, his profile's pretty boss. He did have a picture, I don't know where it's gone. Oh, it will be there. He's got a YouTube, he's got his own website, so you can look this guy up. But this game, by the time we create this space here, right, this is the critical position. This is where it starts to get nuts. Hey Majahar! So, a lot of people here wouldn't like the idea of this move because it looks like it gives up a pawn. But the space that you're creating by this knight moving if you can actually see it, once he's taken there, and I was setting this up as well, say he does this, is that a good move or not? The computer will struggle to figure it out. If he goes this way, yes. And if he takes this way, we eat it. So if he takes this way, and we take, the pawn now all of a sudden becomes a variation, doesn't it? Now the queen's here, now that space was created. But we have this move, yeah? And a very similar sort of idea appears this way round. That looks like he wins a piece. Very importantly, this looks like he wins a piece. He's calculated all of this. He's calculated all the pieces, but he hasn't calculated the space that he creates with the pawn gap and what it opens up for my pieces. Here. Right. I've got this, which draws. I should have found this. That's pinned. Right, so he tries to simplify the position, but now this pawn's going to move, and now he's just opened up a lot of stuff. Also, that knight moving has created the space for me to throw in an intermezzo, and this guy's an FM, so he's panicking. And now this pawn's gone, it was protecting that one. So if I take here and I distract his queen away from the defense of this pawn, that's my idea. Even though that move actually loses, I should find this. The whole idea is I can step out the way and he picks the wrong piece to take. If he takes here, I take here. But he takes that piece and now I can just eat that pawn. So in this position, he actually needs to sack his queen, but he tries to set up the cheesy mate in two. And he misses the fact that all of this space that he's created, he's just looking at the f7 square thinking that's a threat. And hangs mate in one. Oop. So that game's pretty nuts. And I've got 9 seconds, he's got 1:30. He's feeling my pressure. He's put it in his own head. And he's miscalculated the space that he's created. He's miscalculated the actual threat. He's looking at the knight moves, isn't he? He's looking at this rook coming in. He's missed that little queen shuffle. Because he took the wrong piece here. Trying to bring another piece into the equation. So nuts variations. And I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you can visualize quite deep, you're fine. If you miss another good example, lightning patzer. I did it the other day. Lightning patzer. CM lightning patzer. This variation's fantastic. Okay, key move here. And he hasn't planned for that at all. What's the idea? If takes. How are you stopping that? So he figures that out, being a CM. Castles. And now I don't need to rush that. And the correct move here, played once in Masters, is this. But then that can't come in here now, can it? So I find this. Same sort of idea. Okay, now I'll find that. Okay, now I'll take the rook, take bishop, I'm just winning. Not by much. Only -3, and I stepped the wrong way. I need to go back and disconnect that piece. and not be worried about it. Okay? Only -3. -1.4. Computer numbers are silly. Practically, he's got a couple of naughty pieces in my area now, and this pawn's annoying. But he finds the wrong move. Trying to take one of those pawns away. And this game looks like a heart attack on the analysis board. Look at that. This game literally looks like a heart attack in the middle game. So we can both visualise quite deep, but we're both getting it massively wrong because we're worried about the space that's being created around each other. He's trying to attack and I'm trying to eliminate. And I end up walking like a big brave boy into mate here. Interestingly, did this work? No, same problem, so I just need to sack the piece. Would that work? Better than getting mated. So yeah, that would have been more heart attack variations going on there. It's a real chess if it looks like this. Think about what spaces get opened and moved. Don't go here. Push and go here. And if takes, winning. Lovely. Calculate stuff like that. If he takes here, like the computer wants, we just castle. Don't know what that's about. Still not saving your rook. Bang. Come back. Position crushing. Amazing. Hit. 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 I'll tell you what else is hard to calculate. Knights. 2 of them. In and around all your pieces. Very hard to calculate all the variations, especially missing a fork. It hurts. Not sure who's trying to contact me on Lichess, I thought I'd see it on here. Right, so that's Lightning Patzer. However, the reason we are here, it finally happened. We did it. I'll move my screen. We did it. We got the dub. We got the rated FM Jerome Gambit win. So, for all that to hear, feel free to enter some of them. Also, if you live in England, you might want to jump on this. I found this in the Chessriddle Discord community. So you might get to play 8 rapid games on telly and be crowned the title of Chess Master. I'm not sure if that'll be officially done by FIDE, but yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to appear on TV, play a few games of chess, and if you're already a streamer, get to promote yourself. So if you haven't applied for this yet, not to make it any more competitive or anything, but yeah, if you live in England, I'd apply for this, especially anyone that's in this community, because there's every chance that you might get on. For Jerome, Claude, actually did it. Look at this guy's rapid rating, 2700, and he played me in 5 and 4. If it was 5 and 5, it's rapid, isn't it? So minus 1 second of increment, I'm playing someone who's 2200, but add a second of increment, he's 2700. For the boys, for Jerome, for Alonzo Wheeler, for everybody that's been following my work for however long now. I've been trying to play this at the top level. For the boys, Jerome Gambit. So, FIDE Master Igor Mezentsev. I hope I've said your name correctly. Thank you for the game. Our score is 1-1. This, however, was the Jerome Gambit. My favourite opening. We're muted. I'll edit that bit out. My favourite opening. The Italian game is on the board. The Gucci piano is on the board. Bishop takes f7. The Jerome Gambit is on the board. And from this point forward, the computer will tell you this is a blunder. Some websites reckon, if you like computer numbers, this is -3 with the idea that you win one piece back, or -5 if you think a little bit deeper, because you've won a pawn and the king will actually step into the middle and protect both pieces. Now that is the best move by rights, and I've played a game against Aman Hambleton with the black pieces where I came here and I had a winning tactic, and it is winning all game, but sadly he is the master of time and he's the one who introduced me to this opening. I also happen to have invented the reverse Jerome Gambit with the black pieces in the time of Sicilian against a very famous opponent. Feel free to look that up. So, the recognised gold shiny letters and rated game, this is arguably the best win. He goes for the knight g6 variation, which should tell you that this has not been studied by this individual. If it has, that is not the most preferable move. Typically, people I've played before that know what they're doing will either come here or they'll step straight back and allow you to take the knight, because it's the bishop that they actually want to keep. However, this is still a very human idea. The idea being in a manually castle and everything should be fine. You lose one piece. Throw in the GM Aman Hambleton check for the sake of it, making the king step to a dark square. See my game beat NM Crazy Horses, where he went, we'll get into an analysis board. The game against NM Crazy Horses, 12 move trap in the Jerome, he went here, 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 put the knight out. It will likely show up, won't it? Yeah, it's there straight away in the database, Crazy Horses. So, here, here, and then very, 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 very subtly, just do this. Is it true beans are served at breakfast? In England, yes, typically. I'm not a fan of anything in tomato sauce, but yes, you will find them on an English breakfast. Now, he needs to find this, but his idea was he wanted to win the pawn and open some space. White to move and win. Pause the video here if you want to. And the NM resigned in the next position. Answer revealed in 3, 2, 1. Banned in the face. So that was my game against NM Crazy Horses, and he resigned in that position. National Master Crazy Horses, thank you for the games. Yeah, more gold shiny letters for you people. You know you love it. And I'm 3-0 against this guy. He's a legend. He is a legend, look at his games. Anyway, back to this game. So, we're against FIDE Master Igor Mezentsev. I hope I've said your name correctly again. And instead we get the d6 variation, rather than the king on a dark square and the queen coming out or another knight coming out. Instead we have this. h3, inspired by a local player I get to speak to recently. His name is Childy. He's a doctor who's come over from Nigeria, works as a bouncer, a security guard in the public house and the pub for a better life in this country, and runs a chess club from there. Honestly, someone who was a doctor and a chess master in Nigeria has come to England to work as security for somewhere where we drink beer in order for a better life. However, he's managed to start a chess club there and we have a great time. There are pictures on my Discord of him and I together enjoying ourselves over his lovely chessboard, so feel free to check that out if you're in the community. If you're not, send me a message, feel free to join. So, h3 comes in, stopping any of this sort of business. The king is still in the centre. Now we can play what we want. Now we consolidate. And You're obviously two pieces down to begin with for 2 pawns, and you win 1 back. The idea is you build a massive centre, and this king struggles to get away. Black has to use a lot of their turns trying to manually castle, and it's a very simple human brain process to want to try and manually castle after this happens to you. A majority of people that can visualise 30 moves deep, I mean, this guy's 2700 rapid. He can visualise perfectly fine, he can calculate perfectly fine, but trying to find the correct ideas in this position, if you're not fully aware of the tricks and traps or what can happen, is going to be incredibly tricky. It's going to be incredibly taxing for the human brain to want to figure it out. So as a result of manually castling, you end up in this sort of position. That rook stays undeveloped for a long time. This bishop isn't going to come in with tempi on anything. At some point, a lot of players will typically give 1 piece back for 2 pawns as well, and then if they've got some sort of tactical majority, or they can create a pin. Again, if they've kept hold of the dark square bishop, anyone that plays the Traxler will typically keep hold of the dark square bishop because they understand the power of that bishop in these sorts of positions. So, similar trap to what you saw against NM Crazy Horses. Now I'm encouraging this to come in because I want this, and it links up on that square extremely nicely. I encourage it. If you want to take, that's fine. It looks like I want to go here, but that doesn't work, does it? It's not what I'm after. I want that. I want the same idea. The bishop a6 variations. Wrong. Bishop a3 variations. The bishop a3 variations are charming, and you'll find that motif in a lot of the games that I'm winning with the Jerome Gambit. So remember this variation. Now, moves out the way. The computer wants me to just take this pawn here and be ever so slightly worse. We're not about that. We're not about that life. We've just done this on purpose. Now we're threatening that major piece. That one needs to come out before this one can get behind the queen, and his brain will be putting all that together. Anyone's brain at any level will be putting that together. It's also quite demoralising to admit the fact that you've just allowed that. So to not take it would actually cheer him up. We're not trying to cheer him up. We're trying to make him upset. So if you're a computer, you don't suffer from emotions. If you thank you, T Streets. If you're human, you do. Okay, now he's going to try and win this piece, but rather than just take straight away and walk into this, let's say he takes it that way, we can walk into this, can't we? If he takes it this way, I take back, and he walks into that. And then, yes, he's up a piece, but we've got 2 rooks, and we've got a 4 on 3 majority here, and 2 on 2 here. And realistically, that probably is what he should go for. Because a FIDE master should be able to beat me from this position. And the computer, if you let it work, will always prefer black ever so slightly. But people who respect these numbers, they should know that's enough of an advantage to convert if you're an FM. If he goes the other way around, takes with a knight, bring this out. Bring this out, with the plan that we are going to win this at some point. I'm pretty sure taking it straight away is not bad. Ah, tactic. Let's say they don't find that. Let's say they do this. Now we'd want to come back. So yeah, develop your pieces. Try not to leave this as a thing for too long if you have given up the bishop, especially. But yeah, that tactic would have been fairly upsetting for me to witness. And I'm not entirely sure what the main idea is if I do just take that. I think the idea is this is actually unstoppable. Yeah, I think that's the idea, and it's extremely upsetting. Queen g6 check first. Right now it sees it. Yeah, so even the computer took a while to decide which move was better. You throw this in first, step out of the way. Yeah, you wouldn't put that there because of that. So yeah, don't walk into the fork. That would be the best move in this position, but then if they take that way, develop your knight first, and the idea is, very similar motif to what happened in the game, so I'll just get on with what I'm on about. Okay, get rid of the computer, it will confuse you. Computers aren't great at working out the best thing to do in a lost position, so you need to get inventive and tricky. I'll probably cut that last bit out, because, to say that again, computers are not great at figuring out the best thing to do in a lost position. You personally need to get tricky. You need to come up with ideas. You need to understand what you want from the position, and if he does leave this piece hanging, can you create questions and tactics? Can you make him think a bit harder? Can you burn his head out? If you can, great. If he takes with the knight, take with the rook, walk into a fork. If he takes with the queen, much better. So he needs to answer that question correctly. So he takes that way first, threatening my queen. I move out the way. Knight takes. Rook takes f4 is a blunder. He finds the correct idea. Now, as I went through that fork and lost a few viewers because they just lost faith in what I'm on about in the opening, those of you that are still here, I still won this game. So where's the continuation here? What's the idea here? How do you unriddle yourself from this position? Any ideas? White to move in a fairly lost position, and how do we recover? White to move in this position, how do we recover? What's the idea? What's loose? What's hanging? What piece can be captured if this happens? And if you're calculating things, this is how you need to think as well. Whoever asked me earlier, how do I improve my calculations? Loose pieces drop off. If he pre-moves as well, if he knows I'm going to move the queen, he pre-moves that. Can we win his queen? There's a good question. That's not a bad move, is it? All things considered. So he gets annoyed, he understands that. Okay, I've got an idea. Took me a while to see it, but I've got an idea. Same problem. Haha! Same problem. Yeah? So every single move should be tricky. You're playing the Jerome Gambit. You've got to be tricky, right? So he eliminates that problem, but this is still a problem, right? So I'll come back. Now you're not going that way. Okay. I'll go here. That looks loose. I'm still in the right sort of area. If this one moves anywhere, that queen still hangs. I'm not being threatened and I'm not walking into any forks other than that one. Do I want to see that one? It comes anyway. Come back. Now that piece is loose and the FM comes up with an idea. I'm going to hang that knight on purpose for checkmate. But I'm not the one who's stuck playing one move chess. I'm trying to create tricks and traps in this position. So I don't take it naturally. And then he's stopping any back rank ideas so we can move this knight. I identify that, but I make a mistake. So now here it's actually black to move. Here it's black to move and win. And he finds it. And this is annoying. This is annoying for me. Now I need to figure out what to do here. Do I want to give up my queen? No. Do I want to give up my queen for two pieces? No. Because then I've got two rooks and a knight versus a queen, a rook and a knight, and I've done all this work for a pawn. No. So I just need to accept the fact that I'm a piece down here and stay as tricky as I can. Okay. Fine. This knight still cannot move anywhere into my half freely yet. Ideally there, but now I don't have to take. That would actually open up this square for me, wouldn't it? It would block the bishop. Not saying that is necessarily the best idea or best move, but in this position, you need to try and get tricky again, wouldn't you? This is hanging. This is an idea. you can bring your knight closer to the action, and again that knight wouldn't be able to land anywhere closer with significant force or power. So calculating just 2 or 3 moves deep, the space that he was controlling would be lost if that knight landed there, at least for 1 turn. So he just starts to get things moving on this side of the board. I'm going to reroute the knight now because I want to land here. Okay, that will come with check, so I have to react. I don't have time for this with check. He'd take my king off the board, wouldn't he? So he calculates that far and he thinks, I've done it, I've won, I've done it here, I've got rid of his last major piece, I'm just up pieces. I mean, bear in mind, if you get queens off as well, it's knight and bishop versus knight, once you've eliminated all the pawns, you can make him prove he knows this checkmate. You can also make him prove he can promote one of these. Now, back to 1 move chess. What's the winning idea? Computers won't help you here. This is why I love teaching this game. Computers will not help you in the Jerome Gambit, not really. Not unless they blunder and there's a genuine tactic on the board. So, can anyone say what the idea would be here? What would you play here? Honestly, what would you play in this position? Would you hit the resign button? What would you try? What's the idea here? What's the tactic that got past an FM in this position? What did he miss? What did I set up and what did he miss? Do we have any ideas from anyone? And it's not a trick question. It's white to move and find an idea. A clever idea that happened to work against the FIDE master, who has been absolutely battered this game with questions. Not necessarily by better positions, but I just asked him that many questions over and over and over that here he decided to get a bit too aggressive and gave up mentally. What's the move? Last chance for an idea. Now I've given you the move, do you see the idea? If I put my queen there and he takes my knight, which is what happens by the way, because he just, oh, I'm just going to take your knight, prove it. What happens next? Whoever asked me earlier about calculation skill, what happens next? Is there a back rank mate threat? What square do you want to land on? Again, loose pieces drop off. Where would that queen be if it took the knight? What's the idea? Needs to play this. Can't help himself. He's hung his knight. Same sort of tactic as he tried to do to me on this square. He wanted me to take his knight for checkmate. Now I want him to take my knight because I have this check. And there's only one way of blocking it. Whoops. And that took an entire game of being behind. Slowly making life better. I blunder. Got all the work to do again. Slowly making life better. Blunder. And then it looked like it was on a downhill sort of curve. Looked like I was lost here. The game settled in this semi-lost position. So he started to switch off. Refer to the colour code chart. He went in the white. He switched off, he tuned out. He thought, I'm too winning to lose here now. Boom. Hung his queen via a tactic. Oh dear. Oh dear. And in this position he decided to resign the game. So ladies and gentlemen, that's how you beat someone with a 2700 rapid rating in a blitz game. That's 5 plus 4. like I was saying earlier, if it was 5 minutes plus 5 seconds of increment, this would be a rapid game. So for all intents and purposes, we were playing a rapid game. In real time, this game will have taken a lot longer than 5 minutes, I imagine. We both got less than a minute on the clock, and we played 38 moves. So if there are any maths whizzes in the chat, it'd be 38 times 4 seconds, wouldn't it? Added onto your initial 5 minutes. That's how long the game would have been. Minus 39 seconds for myself. And that, ladies and gentlemen, play it in fast time, is the Jerome Gambit. Thank you, Claude. It is a fairly gorgeous idea. If you've just been playing these motifs for so long, and rather than just sticking the pawn fork in, you want to keep all your centre pawns. If you get the knight g6 variation, you want to play for this power, and then play for tactics everywhere. Try and encourage, if you see the dark square double team, if there's a king there, especially like against crazy horses, and your queen and bishop link up on that square, you've just got to remember that tactic. And now I hang a fork, but I find a clever way out because the queen's loose. Now the queen's still loose. Now the queen's still loose. Okay, I'm not falling for your nonsense. I'll come back. Alright, I'm not taking your knight, but I remember that trick for later on. If that's how you think, I'll try and do that to you in reverse. And what a shame that I hung that tactic on e1. But here, I saw that here, by the way. So when he threatened that piece, I saw this. Thank you, abstention. I saw the idea here. I knew that this came with check. I knew he'd calculate this comes with check, and then the most likely thing to do is to threaten the knight, abandoning your defence of that square, because the knight covers that square. So a human brain will be putting all of this together. Now the sneaky idea of coming here, and it looks like I want to land there or there, but the knight can still protect. But he hasn't calculated all of this together. He's trying to move this way. He's trying to bring stuff in and attack me. He thinks he's got a defence. Switches off completely. Whoops. Expecting to see this. Nope. What do you do? What do you do? Take. Take. Consolidate. Another check. Now I land on that square. To add injury to insult, land on the square that he likely calculated when he missed the tactic. Unlucky. Come back. Threaten the guy. How are you protecting that pawn? At all. You're not. Now, this majority, followed by the fact that you have no checks, no tactics, it's done, isn't it? Some people would carry on here and try to flag you, but he's the guy who started the game with 5 minutes and 4 seconds of increment, and I've still got 39 seconds on the clock. His head got destroyed by his own time that he allowed for himself here, and his own position. Now from Black's perspective, if you do face this, I've had people just step up here and ask me the question. I've also, what I did to Aman. Now you should just go here, and if this comes in, don't panic, come back. Everything is fine, because that would actually block the everything coming in. And in this position I played this. Yeah? And this was a game that I played with the white pieces and won against our Lucy from Mark's community. So Lucy has the same brain pattern. She tried this with the black pieces against me. And I have lost games in this position. John won a game here, finding the correct idea. And there's not a lot you can do here other than just try and win one of these pieces back and be worse. So the whole idea behind b4 as well a lot of people will. Oh yep, John's game just popped up, so we'll rattle through this. Yeah. And John's consolidating very well here. Not a lot I can do about it. Get this fork in. But this position's just lost. Oh! And I win it somehow. So don't switch up and hang tactics once you've created all this space. Ooh, unlucky John, what happened here? King stepped up, King got too brave. I've done that. I'm showing the game tonight against CM Lightning Patzer where I've done that. So you understand people's brain patterns, you understand how they think. You'll be able to play this opening your way. And from Black's perspective, that didn't look like it was coming in at any time soon. Now, the idea behind B4. The idea behind B4 is if they take, now you throw this in. And a very human reaction here is, alright, I'm up pieces. I can give this one back. I'm up pieces and I can give this one back. And Aman Hambleton figured this out. Or Stockfish. That's a very human looking move that you'd want to play to try and simplify the position. But because B4 was playing the bishop tuck, he now no longer has any defence on this diagonal. The bishop can't come in to block anymore because it was on that square. So now, you win that rook no matter what. That's the whole idea behind B4 in the king step out variation. Now, FM Nils. I've even played this against Maybach. But yeah, FM Nils. He plays the king f8 variation, and this is an extremely efficient way out of it. Not to give away too many Jerome secrets for the black pieces. The whole point is I will find an attack somewhere in all these variations. So I take the knight. Another thing you're hoping for in this position is simply this. Yeah. You're probably playing someone under 1400 if they find that move. So we've discussed king step out. We've discussed knight g6 in small detail, and we're discussing g6 in itself now. However, king f8. King f8 is arguably the best try. That's the master's reply. This is the genuine master's reply, and if you look at the time on this video, 5 and 5, 5 and 4. So the difference between blitz and rapid is 1 second of increment here. Except in this variation, another common Traxler idea. And if you look at my games in this position, not good. Mainly black wins. Queen takes g6 is arguably the best try. Double those pawns. And keep this central mass and just hope you can get something going and lock this bishop out at some point. That's the main idea. Top games. Yeah, the top win for white, 21-44 against 21-92. So just get these centre pawns rolling without hanging anything, and hopefully you've got something going here as well. So that's how FM Nils dealt with it, and honestly I'd recommend that. The computer line of stepping into the middle invites tactics and trouble again. Now you should take that, but even here I'm pretty sure, no, not in the slightest. I've had that, I'm sure I've had that. I'm sure someone at some point has done that to me. Yeah. Yeah, it was Jackie the Swede. It was only the other day. So people do actually step out into the middle as well. And I thought taking the knight was arguably the best move. I came back against Jackie. But queen g4. Yeah, computer's finding some horrible stuff here. And if you play king of the hill and you put your king in the middle of the board, you have to expect this sort of stuff. If you go back to f8, computer move, master's move, yeah? So Maybach 2500 played this, Ermakov 68 played this, FM Nilsar played this, another Maybach game, another Nils game, and then Howard Edwards. Oh, this game, I played this guy tonight. That's who the Greco Gambit was against as well, so I will show him. I think this was our first ever game. King f8, extremely good move. We take, come back, consolidate as best we can. Notice how I prepared this trap if it does come in. And now build your staircase. Don't give them the centre if you can help it. Don't walk into a tactic. For some reason he agreed to a draw here. But I'm sure I've beaten Buddy Guy with a Jerome at some point. Okay? So, for a final time, King f8, master's move, king out, stockfish move, knight g6, everybody else move. So if you're going to come up with tricks, traps and variations, it will likely be in this line. Yeah? And my top two wins now are an FM, an NM, and then all the way back down to 1561 while I was 1930 in the Blitz game. We have a rapid win as well. So let's have a look at flawless corruption. Not that I'm trying to convince you all to play this game. The account's closed, we get no information about that at all. H3 key move in this variation. Go pawns. Go pawns. Go more pawns. Put this bishop in jail. Was I winning? Huge. Absolutely massive. Free knight hanging. For some reason don't take it. Now I'm not so huge. But we still win this. Okay. Not to go through the moves too much for everyone. Up at the exchange. He's looking for some sort of checkmate. As am I. Bang! Found it. With a minute 25 against 3:44. So again, in this position, I think the player is strong enough to not hang mate in one. He just does. Still trying to attack my king, still trying to pin things, even though his two pieces cannot marry up on that square. He's what he's still trying to do. So, thanks everyone that stuck around for the Jerome Gambit lecture. I will add it to all the other lectures, and you will find people who do that don't take if they know what they're doing. Now this isn't a great idea, I wouldn't recommend it, but you win some stuff back, and then you just have to correctly navigate what's going on. Ooh, that's my cue. Right, thanks John, thank you FM Igor Mezentsev. Thank you to everyone that's here. Thank you to Howard Jones Jr., my opponent from tonight. And remember, if you are going to play like a nutter, he, by the way, is a G4 Grob Master. So if you see Behold, let him know. That's the guy he needs to follow. if you have got legit tactics in the main openings, it's usually because you've played the gambits of that opening and got extremely skilled with them. You understand where the tricks and traps and tactics and motifs live within your specific favourite opening, and you'll be able to apply it in your chess. So good luck with that. I hope you all get it. Don't hang stalemate, especially if you've got increment and you forget you've got increment. I should never be hanging stalemate here. High counter gambit will be the next lecture that we're doing. That's what we're looking at right now. Crushing. Death. No draw. Free knight. Free queen. Getting flagged in a casual game and I believed him. Getting flagged in a casual game with increment and I believed him. I forgot we were playing with increment and I believed the guy. But we speak quite a lot. He's a nice guy, this guy. So if you see legit tactics, play him as well. Get stronger. Silly me, and in this position I could actually just leave the bishop. I could leave the bishop alone. I can go here. I go here, he has to take the bishop. Yeah? But I, for some reason, move it first and allow stalemate. Shocking. Haven't done that in a long time. So yeah. No one's perfect. Anything can happen. But you can beat masters with apparently the best, i.e. the worst opening on paper. Why is it the best? Because people don't study past this move if they study the king variation. People also don't study and fall into a mental trap here where they'd rather block than move the king again. If you have to move your king again, it means you have to calculate what all the new checks are as well as the ones you've just calculated, doesn't it? So people get lazy. This is an indication that whoever you're playing may be getting lazy already or panicky. And then from these sorts of positions, get as creative as humanly possible. We have another game here against Wolf's Claw, 5-0. I was waiting for this pawn to come in, it wasn't coming in. I had a good read on him for a while, so I force it. Okay. Okay. So now he's giving it back. He's giving me the piece back just to try and simplify his position. That's how scary and cramped it can feel. Alright? Yeah, and then he's realised, I'm sure he's realised there's a tactic here. If you take, that's checkmate. So he hung his rook. Knight even. Yeah? Haha! No, that's not a fork. That's a trap. Shout out to Zolpi. That's a trap. We miss you, Jonathan Schrantz. Please come back into the chess world. Thank you, Abstention. The fact that I beat NM Crazy Horses and now an FM in my favourite opening, 2227. Let's go back. See if you can see them all together. The top of the winds, where are you? There he is. So Crazy Horses, National Master 2221, FM Igor Mazentsev 2227, except this game was rated, so everybody's a winner. Everybody who loves the Jerome Gambit is a winner tonight. So thanks for that. Let's move on. The next study will be on the Hind Counter Gambit. Then we're going to go into French stuff, I think. What I do want to show you all quickly, because I witnessed this earlier and it was extremely upsetting for me. While I'm in a suit, I'll quickly talk about Cannon's Castle. So to create a YouTube short incredibly quickly, do not push this pawn. There's absolutely no need to. The rook protects the pawn protects the rook. There is no way whatsoever that an enemy king is going to get in there. It's all protected. There's a lot of literature online about how a rook should be behind a passed pawn, helping it promote. But there's very little, if any, lecture material at all on what to do if your rook is in front of your passed pawn. Get your pawn to 6th or 3rd respectively, and then understand that the rook protects the pawn protects the rook. An enemy king cannot penetrate this. You've now built Cannon's Castle. Happy with that? And in bullet games, you can pre-move all these king moves to here. Life's amazing. Cut the king off. Do the swing over if you need to at some point. And ladder mate. If you've got one rook left, you need to use your king and find the opposition. But as you've just got used to marching up the board for this reason, you should fully understand, yeah? What I don't like seeing is people pushing this pawn, especially while the king's down here. And then you've got to do all your work with a king and a rook. Unless you want to do that, if it's through a skill issue, and then you start gobbing off at your opponent, grow up. It's your fault. They shouldn't have resigned ages ago. You should be better. Alright? I've had to admit that to myself before. It is what it is. That's how I'm able to come up with these sorts of things. Because I don't just give you the problem. I don't whinge at my opponent. I don't blame other people. I look for the solution. Find the solution to your own problems. Improve at chess. If you need help, ask someone who's equally as passionate as you are. And if they're not, no need to impress them. No need to talk to them. No need to show off your number. Do what makes you happy. Understand where your strengths and weaknesses are. And if there are cleaner ways of doing this, I honestly don't care, because you could pre-move all of that at any level if you understand that basic concept of Cannon's Castle. Happy with that? Okay. Last bit of music now. BBC makes new programme where you might get to be on telly playing chess. Who doesn't want to do that? That sounds fantastic. So, music time, cigarette time. Oh, and if anyone wanted to send a casual challenge, now would be the time. If anybody wanted to copy a command, now would also be the time. And if you want to have a laugh, check this out. Oh no. I just copied my entire letter. Oh, crikey, I can't believe how tired I am. You're still here. Got a couple of minutes left. Got a couple of minutes left and 6 viewers, so who's still here and who wants a quick game or a quick arena or something? If I'm playing rather than lecturing, I won't fall asleep. But I am so close to literally falling asleep in this chair. It's 10 to 4 in the morning here. I feel like I've been awake for days. So if no one's got anything to say, add or contribute, I will likely raid out. Who's on? But thank you everyone for being here. Who is on that needs a raid? Still here. Claude is still here. He's a legend. Why wouldn't he be? Who are we raiding? Who are we raiding? Thank you, Abstention. It's quite alright. It's a pleasure to come on and show off an opening that I thoroughly enjoy and made me so happy for so long, regardless of what people said. You played garbage chess, blah blah blah. We did it. The guy, there's a whole website dedicated to that opening. There's a guy in America called Rick who he made the Jerome blogspot, didn't he? I've still got this correct, yeah. Oh, yeah. The Jerome Gambit. A blog created by Rick Kennedy many moons ago. Oh, you got paired with Tyler. He plays the cow. Yeah, I imagine you batter in the board. I've seen you get to like 2100. He goes in. Get in the lobby. Get playing these people. Red Eyes Black Dragon is strong. He's strong. Yeah. And he pops up against some other really strong people. He's not bothered. He's had that 2100 waiting for a long time. Yeah. He's played 1,000 blitz games there, 100 rapid games effectively, and a lot of bullet for 8,000 down here. Now I'm doing quick maths, and I don't count really more than about 5,500 games there. So he's played at least another 2,000 of them, unrated. He plays the bird. And that's why I keep losing to him. I need to try and develop something in the From's Gambit, if anyone knows a better one. He's still around 1900 again, because playing longer games and the difference between 10-0 and 13-0 crowd is insane. You can't win 13-0 with less than 93% accuracy or so. That's semi-true, yeah. It is semi-true. Because classical in itself is tricky, but we did it. I wonder if Lion's still top of the leaderboard somewhere. Yeah, look at how many trophies this guy has. 2,700 blitz, 2,800 rapid, 2435 classical, and even he's losing points in classical. Yeah, there's some classical wins then. He's third on King of the Hill. What a place on the leaderboard. He's 9th in the world for chess 960. Yeah. You can reduce someone to playing one move chess, because you can annoy them and irritate them over the board, i.e. by playing the Jerome Gambit or some more tricky nonsense. Life's good. In case you all haven't seen it, the game I played against Maybach that was incredible. If anyone that missed it, it is a Easter egg for you as well. The game that I played and won was epic. It was opening trap in the Italian. I want to show you the names of being off the top. I'm threatening you. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Okay. What about this one? Okay. That's not going to help. Maybach banned, so he's a flagger as well. I've got to learn to get quicker. I'm too used to people resigning if they're masterful. The Nesmedimov Rossolimo attack is on the board. Go connect 3. Yes. Whoops. And he makes it hard work, naturally. Time out. GG. Never mind. Any questions? Any questions for me? Before I fall asleep in my chair. But, yeah. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your favourite openings. Have faith in the Lichess casual lobby. Don't just try and boost your number. Play the monsters. You are all monsters. Everybody in my community that pops in here, you're all strong. I know you are. And you've just got like a couple of keys away from smashing everyone. Claude's game against an IM in his favourite opening, which resulted in a draw. And we both looked at the advancement. Claude, if you're still here, do you think that you could win that game now that you had on Chess.com against the IM? Where you resulted in that position, was it like -5 for you, +5 for you? And then you ended up having to take a repetition because it was a draw. I did something similar. And if you want to look through my recent wins, or losses, or draws, time losses is what I'm after as well. There's like 2600 and 2500 in there. You need to get on it. You need to get on this boat. Play this guy. Play this guy. Don't move. I played a belting game against that guy at some point. Right. There's some numbers as well. He contributes into everything. If you can't hear me and you're just vibing, that's fine. Because I was logging off anyway one time. But thanks, Eve. Yeah, tried to make an effort for a lecture. Stayed in my work gear tonight. Changed the camera angle so you can't just see my 35 this year haircut. We might look something like we're out of grease. Life's alright. Beard oil. Chessboard. Riddler question mark above the head. As you get the idea. Oh, Eve, are you in England? You need to do this. Have you done this yet? Have you thought about this yet? You can apply to get on BBC Two. There's like a series coming out. Can I be a chess master? I'm not sure where you live. Not that you should disclose that on the internet. I know. You live in France. Well, Channel Tunnel. They might want one person from France. Your English is good enough. I'd just apply, see how you get on. Okay. Who'd take that? Who'd take it and who'd go back? We all know this is the best move, because there isn't a queen here. But who'd take that? I don't care. I honestly don't care. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, bishop pair, no light squared bishop, 2 outside pass pawns. What happened there? 2300. Flag culture! Git. Pretty rare to see sacks on the queen side. That's why people don't understand it. Why people don't study it. And if there's a queen on c7, it really works. Right. Oh, come on. Where are we? Here? Yeah. One guess. Right. So let's just say they play it here. Knight takes b5. Right, let's say they play it here. Now does it win? And what piece do you take with and why? Now does it win? And what piece do you take with and why? Computer's still trying to figure it out. Bishop f1 it wants. Will it see it? Should see it. Not good. Why isn't it good? Because of that move. Okay. Ah. No, I'm still taking that. I'm just taking that, regardless, aren't I? In nearly all positions, I'm taking that. King side, queen side, I'm taking that. Maybe bishop takes b5. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. With the bishop here, I'd believe you. Because now it wants this. Ugh. Yeah, computers are horrible. Good evening, Ollie. Good evening, everyone. I am going to bed, sadly. I need to raid out. I am knackered. But thank you for being here. What was I looking at then? To show you. We get the chat back up. There we go. Chessriddle. Boom. Ooh. What happened here? I don't know, you never sack. That's why you can't cross 2k confidently. Eve, that is not why you don't cross 2k confidently. Why you don't cross 2k confidently is because you get flagged by blagging people rather than studying things like this. This is for you, Eve. I put it in your channel earlier. For anyone else, Cannon's Castle. Do not push a pawn to 7th. If there's a king loafing around in the area and you've got a rook in ahead of it, you will lose something. However, you will lose nothing here. Happy with that? Yeah? Don't do that. Great stuff. Right. Who are we raiding? I want to send you over to GM Canty's stream just because it's important that you all do genuinely improve in this bullet arena, at least for a small period of time. Get it out of your system, it needs to be done. I know he doesn't need the viewers, but you lot can learn something from this man. Alright everyone, thank you, goodbye. I'll see you all tomorrow likely. Got another day off, I'm going to have a nice long sleep. Take care. Thanks for being here. Bye.